Welcome everyone back to K&L Detailing headquarters. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different to the normal detailing videos. I thought I would give everyone a little bit of an update on the Crown here. It also needs a service, so I thought I'd take you along for the ride, and I'd also thought I'd show you some of the challenges regarding the paint that's actually on this particular car, and get into a bit more of the geeky detailing side of things a bit later. So first step, anytime we have to do anything on this car, is take the front bumper off. For anyone unlucky enough to have a Crown owner as a friend, if you open up the bonnet, please never lift from here. As you can see, this is already broken. I've repaired it once, but it's broken again. Always release the latch from underneath and lift from the corner here, otherwise you'll snap the grille clean off. Okay, so service is all done on the car, finally. Now time for a little bit of an update of where the Crown is at. Basically, it's in need of a pretty major, I guess, maintenance after 20 years of being a car. I've basically, since the last video that you would have seen on it, I've changed all 4 rotors, pads, and put braided lines in it. Okay, so for whatever reason, the audio was playing up, my little microphone wasn't working, so I'm going to have to explain this part of the video in this little box on the screen. Basically what I was trying to say is that the car needs a big overhaul. All the bushes are getting changed. It's actually booked in a few weeks at Rapid Tune Greensboro to have all of that done. So it's basically all suspension bushes, diff bushes, the lot. The other thing that I want to try and fix as well is it definitely needs sound deadening, at least in the boot, because it's really drony. I also want to get some cruise control, so I want to try and add in the cruise control, the factory cruise control, which might be a bit weird with the manual swap. I'm not too sure. Some people have said that it works perfectly fine, other people have said that no, it won't work, so that I guess we'll see when I try it. The other thing I want to do is the front bumper, which I cut to fit the original intercooler setup that was on the car. I want to have that remolded so I can actually fit the factory fog lights back in. So again, when I get the chance, I guess I'll try and get that sorted. The other thing I want to do is the aircon motors. There's 3 servos in the Crowns, and they're notorious for not working. So mine unfortunately don't really work anymore. The passenger side doesn't heat and cool at the same temperature as what the driver's side does. and only the face vents actually work. So when I put the aircon down to the feet, it doesn't actually work. So that is also the cause of the notorious dash rattle, or the dash rat, that a lot of Crowns tend to have, particularly 1.7 series Crowns. So hopefully that can get all fixed up. Now back to the video. The paint on this car is absolutely terrible, which I'll show you as well when we get into a bit more of the geeky detailing side of things, which I guess we'll do now. So I'm going to do my best to pick this up, but you can see all the scratches that are on this car there in the lighting. Basically, the issue with this car is that it was resprayed in Japan, and it's very, very soft paint. So this car has actually been ceramic coated, which I explained in the first video that I did on this car. It's had 2 paint corrections in my ownership. The first one, it basically looked terrible after about a month. Now this time around with the ceramic coating, it's about 8 to 10 months in, and it's still looking pretty good in comparison to what it did previously. So one of the main reasons why this isn't lasting as long as what a traditional car would ceramic coated is because A, it was resprayed poorly in Japan, but B, it's a single stage paint job, which means there's no clear coat on the car, and that in combination with the very soft paint that was used, the ceramic coat didn't bond very well. There was also a very tight time limit that I was working under as well to get this car prepared for a family member's wedding. As a result, I didn't let it cure properly, and it's quite evident on the bonnet. You can actually see very obvious scratch marks of where the wedding ribbons went up the bonnet. So that also didn't help because, of course, the proper curing process on a ceramic coat is very important to its durability and the level of protection it gives. Here's another example of what I hate about the paint on this car. That was done by a cardboard box which I dropped gently on my rear lip, and that was enough to leave that big scratch there in the bumper, which is quite frustrating, as you can imagine. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this car. I'm thinking of selling it this year, but I don't know, I'll see if I fall in love with it again after everything's fixed. Well, I hope you've enjoyed something a little bit different today. Hopefully I can bring you more updates on this car. It's always gets a lot of attention when I bring it out and when I post videos on it. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and stay posted for some pretty cool content coming up. So yeah, excited.